live. What's going on, everyone? Thank you all so much for coming at this time. Really appreciate it. Anybody watching the replay, thank you so much. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. So, oh man, this game was so frustrating. This was a game where, embarrassed is the best way to put it. I mean, the Lakers got absolutely embarrassed, right? And it wasn't even like, again, it's one thing if they got blitzed and, the Celtics couldn't miss and they were just lights out and hitting everything and doing all that stuff. And it was just like, one of those Celtics games where they just like, they can't miss from three and whatnot. Like, again, this wasn't a game where they went and dropped, 130, right? You held them to 111, right? Like, which is really good, especially for a Celtics team. Like, you did the things that you needed to do to like, my issue with this game is the Lakers got bullied, right? That's probably the easiest way to explain, easiest way to put it, right? Boston didn't just come in and beat them. They bullied them. I mean, Lakers were getting just bodied and embarrassed and pushed around. And then it got to them, right? The physicality of this game and the way that Boston was able to just kind of manhandle them and get them out of their game, in my opinion, was just unacceptable. Unacceptable. Right? Like, again, yes, the off arms. Yes, there were things that you're frustrated with, but match the intensity, match the physicality. The refs were letting them play. This was a playoff level game. And I've said, don't be shocked if the Lakers, are really good come playoff time and all that stuff. And look, I'm not going to just completely get away from it after one game, but like, this was a playoff level game and you got punked. Like, that's literally what happened. Lakers literally got punked by the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics were just more physical. They were more assertive. They bullied them. I mean, even Luka had some troubles. Even Luka was bothered by just the physicality that Boston presented. They were being physical with them. They were just being aggressive with them. I mean, Luka was our leading scorer with 25, but he did it on 22 attempts. Now, he was 4-7 from three-point range, so he was, he did shoot the three ball well, but outside of that, I mean, 9 of 22 from the floor, but you weren't getting the foul line, right? Like, Austin Reeves, Luka combined for 13 free throws, right? Like, again, Austin Reeves, 15 points. He seemed bother at times, right? Like, they were being physical with him. He wasn't getting to the foul line. No, he kept, leaving shots short, right? LeBron James even. He was 9 of 20. We had 20 points. LeBron had 20 points on 21 field goals. Right? That's not good. Again, that's not good. Lakers did a decent job of taking care of the basketball. Or not decent job. They did a good job of taking care of the basketball. They only had 8 turnovers. But, which if I was to look for a bright spot here, it would be that Luka, Austin Reeves, and LeBron James, despite the physicality that we saw from Boston, the Lakers still were able to take care of the basketball, which is good, right? Like, because again, we've seen Austin Reeves struggle with that level of ball pressure. We've seen this team, LeBron have 8 turnovers and Luka have, 7 and stuff like that. So, like, a positive note is like, hey, we got that. But again, outside of that, it's like, again, it's like the Lakers were scared, like, genuinely. It's like the Lakers were scared of Boston. Boston started being physical, started bumping them, pushing them around, right? We get like, 3 technicals in a row, right? Like, it's just, again, quit crying about it. Luka's on the ground and he's sitting there crying and we give up a layup on the other end. It's like, get up, man. Like, if they're not calling it, they're not calling it. You crying and screaming is not going to all of a sudden, oh, you're right. Let me call that foul now. Like, again, Boston just came into LA and just punked us. Literally. It's exactly what happened. Lakers got embarrassed this game. It's one thing if they just lost, right? If this is a game where Lakers come in and they just take an L, it's a hard fought game or something like that. And Boston just, Peyton Pritchard torched the Lakers. Torched Reeves, right? They were switch hunting Austin Reeves, which is a problem, right? That's a problem come playoff time, right? Austin Reeves just getting switched on. Teams love to just go at Austin Reeves defensively, right? Again, say what you want about Austin Reeves, like that's an issue, right? They're not doing that to Luka. They're doing that to Reeves. And, that's going to be something that we have to keep in mind. Like this was, in my opinion, this was a playoff game. And the Lakers looked like they weren't ready. Boston came in and we're like, hey, we're going to be physical. We're going to be aggressive. We're going to outwork and out-hustle the Lakers. And that's exactly what happened. Boston just, they were the aggressor and they were the more aggressive team. And the Lakers were just soft. They got punked. They got bullied. Marcus Smart even. Right? Marcus Smart couldn't hit a shot to save his life. It's like they got in his head too. And that's like his former team. Like he should be somebody. And I made a video the other day about, Marcus Smart and how great and impactful he's been on this Lakers team. Right. And that doesn't mean like, oh, now he's a bum or anything like that. But like, again, this just felt like a game where they let the opposing team just bully them. Right. Like that's what it was. This was a game where, the Celtics went, sit down. You're not ready for this kid. And just bodied us. And it's just, it's disappointing, right? It really is. It's frustrating to watch this Lakers team just fold. And then it just seemed like they gave up, right? Like they were keeping Boston off the glass, stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, they're getting back-to-back, offensive rebounds and all this stuff towards the end. And Lakers aren't even like rushing to close out. And it's like, again, I understand you're losing, but at least pretend. It's like they just waved the white flag. They just were like, oh, we're not going to beat Boston. Like they just gave up, right? Like this was, in all honesty, in my opinion, this was their worst loss of the season, right? And again, it has nothing to do with Boston. It has nothing to do, they've had games where they've lost by more, but this was a game where they got bullied, like literally, like, and you could clearly see it affect them. This was a game where the bullying bothered them. Right? Even Luka seemed to be bothered by Boston and seemed to be affected by Boston. When do you ever see him airball like a little 5-foot floater? Right? Like LeBron seemed bothered. Right? Like, yeah, don't get me wrong. There were a couple calls, a couple things, the off arm, stuff like that. It's frustrating, but honestly, you like remove all that stuff. Lakers still get smacked this game because again, Boston was the aggressor from the jump. Their defense was swarming. They were causing problems for our ball handlers. They did a good job. They did what they were supposed to do. They looked like a contending basketball team. They look like a team that is ready to go and try to make a run for an NBA championship. I said it, like it pains me to say it because, it's always F Boston, but if they get Tatum back, I wouldn't be shocked if they win it this year. Like genuinely, if they get Tatum back, they're already really good. Wait till they get Tatum back. Like they might be hoisting that Larry O'Brien at the end of the year. One team looked like a playoff ready championship contending team. The other team looked like a team that is going to get swept in the first round. Still a lot of basketball left, but this wasn't a good game. This looked like a game. This looked like Minnesota last year, just getting bullied, pushed around, getting bodied. You had one team that was just more physical, more aggressive, all that stuff. This was an incredibly frustrating game for the Lakers. Right? Again, you're the one thing you have to lean on is your offense, and you scored 89 points. Boston only put up 111, which is good. They were at like 107 for a long time. But again, they didn't need to. They were able to play defense. They're able to switch on Austin Reeves. They're able to just do what they need to do. We're physical on the defense side of things, and the Lakers couldn't score through it. So what's going to happen come playoff time when, the opposing team is physical and aggressive, right? Like, and now the Lakers can't score through that. Like, that's a problem. Lakers got to figure that out. Again, they're one of the best fourth quarter teams or one of the best, like all that stuff, all the stuff I talk about all the time. That's great, but you just watch this game and you're like, Yeah, none of that matters. Right? Like that's what it felt like at the end of that game. But anyway, let's get into all these super chat questions, all the regular chat questions, all of that stuff. Real quick for me, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let's dive into it. So, Danny, coming out $2 super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Horrible shooting, yes. I mean, look, offensively, like I mentioned, like I just went on my little 10-minute breakdown. Lakers just they just got bullied, right? Like it affected them. Like like I felt like this was a game that Boston got into the Lakers' heads. Like this felt like a game where the Lakers really were bothered by Boston, and it affected all the areas. You know, Lakers were 9 of 30 from 3-point range, and Luka had half of them. You know, Luka was 4 of 7. You had LeBron 1 of 5. Marcus Smart was 0 of 5. He was 0 of 7 overall. Deandre Ayton was 2 of 6 overall. Austin Reeves 1 of 4. Kennard 50%. He was 1 of 2. Like to see him get a couple more attempts. Rui was 1 of 4. This is 2 straight just dump truck games from Rui. Rui's got to figure it out. He's got to turn it back around. The inconsistencies. It's really what it is. But appreciate you. Days coming out too. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. I'm thinking this is how postseason will play out. I mean, again, this was a playoff game, right? This felt, smelt like a playoff game. And the Lakers got absolutely destroyed in a playoff type of game. Like, and that's just, it's not good. That's not what you want to see from this Lakers team. That's not what, you know, again, like Lakers have, there's things about this Lakers team that should bode well and translate well come playoffs. And this is, this was one of those games that you look at and go like, yeah, it's not boding well. This isn't going to go well. Right? This is one of those things where you're just like, yeah, this is going to be a disaster. But, thank you so much. And then, Marl, coming out the $2 super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I don't see anything. I don't know if you had, I'll keep an eye on the chat. I don't know if you had a question attached to it. So if you were just supporting, I really appreciate that. Seriously. Thank you for that. But if you had a question that you wanted me to answer, like I said, I'll keep an eye on the chat and come back to that. But thank you again. Days coming out, $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. 7 days. I am going to say this to you. Luka AR won't win a chip. Luka is the new leader. Showboating, everyone watching. Ayton didn't compete. No bench. Luka watching. I still think it's hard to judge because that's the big question that I get all the time, right? Like, can the Lakers win with AR and Reeves or AR and Luka in your backcourt? If you have the right personnel around them, yes, you can, right? It's hard to judge that backcourt and how well they'll perform on both sides when you have a bunch of non-defenders around them, right? Like DeAndre, like what is AR? Like I said this in a video, right? If you threw AR and Luka on OKC, they're probably the best team in basketball by a large margin. Austin Reeves alone on Houston might make them a true title contender, right? Like, but they have the size, the length, the athleticism, the defense, all those things, right? Like, we're looking at Luka and Austin Reeves right now, and it's like, well, yeah, they look worse than they are because you don't have the defense to mask. Most teams have, you know, 1 or 2 defensive liabilities, right? Like most teams have guys that aren't like super great defensively, right? Like, and that you can exploit and do things, right? Like there's no team that's just like so perfect, right? Like, but the Lakers don't have the things to mask that, right? Like what does Luka and Austin Reeves look like if you have, you know, a Nick Claxton, Peyton Watson, and a Tari Eason out there, right? With, you know, a Keon Ellis and a Jared Vanderbilt and a Marcus Smart and a Dude Theroux off the bench, right? And now you have the athleticism and the defense and the versatility and all the things you need. And then you have the defensive perimeter guys and stuff around that, right? Like you need the guys that are good at the margins, because that helps mask and hide the inefficiencies on the defense side of things. If you have a bunch of guys that are really good defensively that are able to mask the terrible, defense of Reeves and Luka at times, then now they don't look as bad. It's not as exploitive, right? You see teams, they know, like, oh, if I switch Hunt on Austin Reeves, I can get the blow by, and the Lakers have no line of defense, right? Imagine Walker Kessler down there. Now I get the blow by Austin Reeves just to run into Walker Kessler. And now Reeves can switch out into, the defense side, or continue to be aggressive and trap, and the defensive schemes become better. It's harder to switch Hunt. Teams will still switch Hunt, but you switch Hunt into a frontline defense. Lakers just don't have that, right? Now, again, it's very possible you might have to make a decision on those two at some point, right? And if that's the case, then it's Luka. Again, I'm not against trading Austin Reeves. I've talked I am usually labeled as a Reeves hater. I don't think I am. I think I'm just honest about Austin Reeves, right? He's a very good basketball player. Very good, right? But again, there's levels to this. There's levels to things. And what does this Lakers team need, right? Those are the questions. But I appreciate you. And then Mike out coming out to follow super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I haven't had this sense of apathy for the Lakers since the Rust era. What's the point of the playoffs? They are who they are, healthy or not. Yes and no. I mean, again, playoffs are a different brand of basketball, right? I mean, obviously, again, this game doesn't look great. Matchups are very key and important, right? There's a couple teams I think the Lakers can win, or it could be. I've talked about, Houston, I think the Lakers could be. Even San Antonio, I know, San Antonio, you look at them in the regular season, but every year there's those teams, those young, athletic, fast teams that just are able to do things during the regular season that they're not able to do in the postseason, right? So the Cavs last year, we've seen Sacramento, we've seen Memphis, OKC a couple years ago, right? Teams that are usually atop of the standings, but they don't have the experience. They don't have the things that you need to go on a deep playoff run. I'm not saying San Antonio won't do that. We won't know until we actually get to the playoffs, right? But just looking at the style in which they play, San Antonio can't shoot the basketball. I mean, they're terrible shooting the basketball, unless they're playing the Lakers, of course. But they're not very good in the half court. There's things that you look at and you question, will that translate come playoff time? There's a lot of things that the Lakers are good at come playoff time. Matchups are going to be important. Like I've said, I don't expect the Lakers to win a championship. I say it all the time. I wouldn't bet on it. Could I see the Lakers, if they get the right line of matchups, go on a deep playoff run? Sure. Right. But winning the championship and even getting to the conference finals are very different things. All right. But the thing, I've said too on several occasions, I personally either want two things to happen. I either want the Lakers to win the championship, which again, I think is very unlikely, or I just want them to just get ran through in the first round, get it over with, and let's get to the offseason. Right. My concern is that we get Houston in the first round. Lakers end up beating Houston in 5 or 6, and everyone's like, hang on a second. And then, we end up beating, playing San Antonio and let's say they overtake OKC and we play San Antonio in a 1-4 matchup, and the Lakers beat San Antonio and everyone's like, oh, here we go. Right. And then we play Denver or OKC and then they run through it. Right. And then it's here it is all over again. Right. It's kind of the 2023 run all over again. That's kind of my biggest concern. Obviously, I want as much Laker basketball as possible, but again, it's kind of what you're talking about, right? This team has been who they've been all season. The hope was, okay, we can get healthy. And again, maybe some things get worked out. There is still, again, this is only game 12 with the big three. They can work out some stuff and kind of improve and get better. Maybe we start to see some changes. You have 26 games left? The Lakers' schedule is very favorable. You look at the schedule and the only team that you look at and go Lakers probably lose to is Denver. Everyone else, Lakers, the next handful of games, Lakers should win. This next stretch, I really wanted Boston. I really wanted this Boston win just because I thought if the Lakers got this Boston win, I could have seen an 8-game win streak, which would have been huge. And Lakers are right in the thick of it. But Anyway, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for super chat. All right, let's get into the regular chat until some more super chat trickle in. Thank you so much, everybody. Well, can't say I'm surprised. Lakers always do this, and it always seems when they had a chance to be a 3 seed, they always lose. Just flat out embarrassing, man. No pride. Yeah, I mean, again, Lakers love to to fumble the seeding. Minnesota should lose. They're down 14. Oh no, never mind. I refreshed. They're down. They're down 21 with 4 minutes left. So that's good for the Lakers. That way, at least Minnesota, at least we don't start dropping here. But Denver ended up losing to the Warriors, which was great. I mean, even through Jokic's like monster game, that Warriors game, it would have been huge, right? Lakers win this game, you're the 3 seed. Luckily, everyone we needed to lose still lost, so you're still in the thick of it, right? You're still right in the mix, but it's disappointing, right? It is. At this point, make Tyler our starting center. No, seriously. Are stiff arms legal? No, yeah, they were stiff arming all over the place. But again, they were the aggressor. They were the physical team, right? Like you gotta make the adjustment and play through it, right? That's what you gotta do. The problem is the Lakers, they start getting pushed around and stuff, and instead of adjusting and playing through it, what do? They end up, just kind of folded, right? It affects them. It bothers them. Like I said, this is a game where they just you could see how much it affected this team. I'm starting to feel bad for Luka. They can't beat good teams. Hope they will cook in the offseason. I hope so too. Again, a lot can happen in the offseason. You get the right players, right pieces, but it's just, it's so frustrating. Just a poor game, but also a lot of bad calls. But man, Lakers can't hit one wide open shot. It's insane. Yeah. This is a game that just felt like the Lakers got bullied and embarrassed, right? JJ got out coached. I don't know if I'd say out coached. I mean, Boston did their normal thing. Guys guys got bullied and didn't show up. Like, what are you supposed to do? Like, again, who was he supposed to lean on? What adjustments was he supposed to make? They were swarming everybody. LeBron, again, 9 of 21. Is that his fault? Marcus Smart, 0 of 7. Is that his fault? Right? Austin Reeves, 4 of 10. 15 points. Is that his fault? Right? Again, Lakers got bullied. Players play the game. Right? What adjustment could JJ have done in this game that changes the outcome of this game? Right? Nothing. Lakers got punked. That's what it was. This was the Lakers got punked. Right? It's not like JJ had some guy oh man, we should have played these 3 guys. Again, it's just what are you supposed to do? Right? If you're JJ, you're trying to, this game's getting out of hand and you're trying to grasp for straws. You're trying to see okay, let's throw maybe this lineup work, maybe that lineup work. Jackson Hayes goes down. So now you got to go small. It's just, again, this isn't a game that I look at and go oh man, JJ. No, the players got punked. Take some pride, quit getting bullied, right? JJ's not the guy that's out there getting punked. It's the players. Lakers look soft. Absolutely. I'm embarrassed as a Laker fan. I don't blame you. Lakers shots were mostly short from the very beginning. Yeah. They just, again, the physicality. So we can't stop Peyton Pritchard. He's been really good this year, though. But yes, that was not good. I mean, he didn't just have a good game. He bodied the Lakers. What's going on, Drip Show? Appreciate you. How are you? Yeah, I know. I feel it. It's just embarrassing, man. My guy LeBron don't have it no more. He doesn't have it on a nightly basis anymore, and that's the problem. That's why, I've talked about, I love LeBron. He's still an incredible player and talent, but again, he doesn't have the motor. I've had people be like, no, is Giannis really that significant, counting the money and all that stuff you'd have to pay him? It's yes, because 1, he's a better player at this stage, but 2, he also just has the better motor. LeBron doesn't have the motor anymore, right? He's still really good, don't get me wrong, but he has to pace himself. He has to do it in spots, right? Which is why, again, you can't give him $50 million. not to make excuses, but we lost to Peyton Pritchard today. I feel like we tried, but got discouraged with the shots he was hitting, man. Where's the Sorry, trying to find. He is 90% of why we lost in my eyes. It's no way you're beating a team with someone scoring 30 on exclusively heavy contested into the shot clock shots. I mean, look, he hit some major shots, but the Lakers, like, he could have dropped 30 and the Lakers, like, again, my issue with this loss isn't the Lakers. Like, if Peyton Pritchard just had one of those games or Boston just had one of those games, that's fine. But that wasn't like, Peyton Pritchard, again, hit some big shots. Lakers just didn't show up, right? Like, I mean, they did to start, and then they started getting pushed around, and it's like you just saw them get deflated. You just saw them like check out, and that's the problem, right? Like this team just gets deflated, and it's so frustrating, man. Lakers still missing wide open shots. Yeah, and they generate the most in the league, which is a problem. Lakers can't beat any good teams. We getting swept in the first round unless the Lakers sign me. Well, if that's what it takes, let's get you on there. Lakers are soft VFX strip, 100%. It's just, again, this was just embarrassing. They got punked, like literally. That's what it was. They got punked. Let's see. Peyton Pritchard will not have 5 or more points during the next Celtics game. Mark my words. He's been like lights out since he went to the bench, but that's usually how it goes, right? Let's see. Lakers quit. That's what it felt like. It really did. Yes, they were real soft. Yeah. Under no circumstances can you pay Austin $40 million a year. Problem is, Lakers might not have a choice because you can't let him walk. Thing is, though, even at $40 million, like, teams will trade for him. He's good enough. Teams will trade for him. It's just, yeah, like you can't have. It's the concern, right? Like, but I don't know. That's why I've talked about, and every time I talk about it, people go, "Oh, you're just a Reeves hater." All the Reeves stands are real quiet in games like this. Again, that's why I've said, like, everyone's like, you really want Giannis? Yes, go get Giannis. And then you can turn Austin Reeves into the assets and players and stuff that you need. Or even a trade period. Like, if I could turn Austin Reeves into like Herb Jones and Trey Murphy, I would do that. Right? If I could turn Austin Reeves just in like, hey, where do you want to go? Get assets, right? Bring in Herb Jones, Peyton Watson, bring in Isaiah Hartenstein, right? Like, if LeBron's willing to take a significant enough discount, then now you have that other playmaker and he can kind of pace himself all game. Imagine a starting 5 of like Luka, Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, LeBron James, and Isaiah Hartenstein. Lakers are probably the best team in basketball at that point, right? Like, it's things like that. It's just the moment we got Luka, I've been said you have to ship Reeves. They will never work defensively. Again, the defensive side of things is really tough. Problem is, you can't really trade Reeves right now. And I've broken this down. I've talked about it a lot. Like, Reeves is your best asset, and teams would pay pretty hefty for Austin Reeves. Like, Houston, like right now, I am pretty confident the Lakers could get something like a Jabari Smith Jr., a Jay Sean Tate, and like a Tari Eason. But the problem is you have to give up more than Austin Reeves, right? So then the return has to be justified to make sense. Like a team like Minnesota that desperately could use another playmaker, it might be the difference, right? Like they could right now be like, hey, we'll give you 5 first and Jaden McDaniels. And you literally can't do it. If Lakers are going to trade Austin Reeves, you have to do it in the offseason. You do it this offseason via sign and trade. You tell Reeves, hey, where do you want to go? What team do you want to go to? And you work out a sign and trade. And you tell that team, like, hey, we're either going to sign him or you have an opportunity to get him. And we need, 5 firsts, and you work your way, if you settle on 4, maybe get a young player, and then you take those picks and you go get the athletic, versatile wings that you need. That's what I would do. And the whole thing is like, you need another shot creator. You need another playmaker. Like, again, if you can get somebody like a Trey Murphy, there you go. And he's also younger and has more upside. Or Peyton Watson. Can you go get a Peyton Watson? Right? Boom. Now you have that other shot creator, that other scorer, guy go get you 20, right? Ayton, Smart, AR, Rui, we're all soft tonight facts. And Smart, like I was surprised by Smart. Like he really let them kind of bully him. There's no possible way Brown shot 10 of 28. He was making literally everything. It felt like that at times. It felt like that in stretches. He just started hitting shots towards the end. He hit like 2 straight threes, but he wasn't shooting the ball particularly well to start the game. It was like the 12 free throws really helped a lot. And then he just kind of came alive there. I don't want to see you defend Ayton anymore. As sounds like again, like this game didn't change anything that I've talked about with Ayton, right? Like people want Ayton to be something that he's not, right? Like, and we don't have the team that makes sense with Ayton, right? Like if you trade Austin Reeves and you go get a Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, and say Peyton Watson, then yes, DeAndre Ayton now makes a ton of sense because now he can be that frontline defender if you're not getting torched. The problem is we usually are running him away from the basket and around the rim, right? He got bullied this game. Don't get me wrong. Like this isn't a game to justify and do that. But again, like this game in particular doesn't negate the things that I've talked about with DeAndre Ayton and why I've defended him in spots, right? We want DeAndre Ayton to be an Isaiah Hartenstein or Nick Claxton or something like that. He's not that guy. He's not going to be that guy. He wasn't that guy in Phoenix, right? The reason he worked so well in Phoenix and he was this 20 and 10 center in Phoenix is because Phoenix had the athleticism and defense and shooting and all that stuff. So Ayton didn't have to go and defend out on the perimeter. He didn't have to go and be on an island on defense. He also had players that could spread the floor, right? What was Boston doing this game? They were packing the paint, right? Marcus Smart and the Lakers were getting wide open shots. You know what Boston did? They did what every team does. We're going to pack the paint and we're going to trust the Lakers don't shoot the lights out. And you know what happened? The Lakers didn't shoot the lights out. LeBron was getting wide open looks. Austin Reeves had wide open looks. Everyone was getting wide open looks. So how can I be a 20 and 10 center on the inside when I got to fight through 15 guys in order for me to get a rebound or for me to get a shot or anything like that? Right? Again, he got bullied, period. But, you know, again, like it's the personnel. Like we don't have a roster that makes sense for DeAndre Ayton, right? DeAndre Ayton he's an offensive center, right? He's somebody that you want to spread teams out. He's on an island. He's got the guy on his back. You dump it down to him and he just is going to work and he's giving you 20, right? He's a guy that you don't really necessarily have to run plays for. He can give you more offensive rebounds. He can do more things because he doesn't have to fight through the defense, right? Because you have guys out on the perimeter. So now I don't have to put DeAndre Ayton out on the perimeter to defend because I have guys that can defend out on the perimeter. Lakers don't have that, right? Like, again, it's, you know, your certain players are best in certain environments, right? Like everyone is expecting DeAndre Ayton to be that just big, like everyone wants DeAndre Ayton to be Shaq. He's not going to be that, right? Like he's not. That's not the player. He wasn't even that in Phoenix. Even when he was at his best, he wasn't that. You know, but he looked better because Phoenix had the players around him that made sense, that were justified, right? If Lakers are going to keep Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic, you need the margin. You need a margin center. You need somebody like an Isaiah Hartenstein, like a Nick Claxton, like a, you know, Walker Kessler. You need somebody that can be that frontline defense. So when Austin Reeves gets blown by, now you're running into a Walker Kessler that's going to protect the rim. Or you're walking into an Isaiah Hartenstein that can protect the rim, or a Nick Claxton, or whatever, right? Like, again, when you don't have the personnels, nobody's going to look good when you don't have, like, you know, if Luka's out there with a bunch of non-shooters all game, guess what? He's not going to get you 20 assists, right? Because, again, nobody can shoot basketball. Right? Like, it's that same kind of concept of, like, you know, Ayton needs a very specific team. Right. And if you don't have that specific team, then he's not gonna be what you need because defenses, you're not spreading out the defense. Right. Like DeAndre Ayton doesn't have to go 1-on-1. He has to go 1-on-5. Right. Like there's differences. Right. Now you're trying to run the pick and roll, for example. Right. You're running the pick and roll. Ayton comes to go and set the screen. He goes to slip to roll and he's rolling into 5 guys. right? Like the whole point of the pick and roll is like what you saw with Boston, because the Lakers are so worried about the 3-point shot, right? What happened? Cueto was able to just get wide open, catches the ball, hammers it home, right? Like that's what the pick and roll is supposed to open, because you have the shooting. And so Luka, the idea would be if you had the shooters, Luka would come, Ayton sets the pick. Luka now has options. He comes off that screen. If you don't come and help, Luka's just going to torch you. So now you got to come and help. Now Ayton's roll into the basket and he's just easy dump off and Ayton's getting the dunks. But again, Lakers don't have the guys around in order to do that. So what did Boston do, right? Don't come up. Just leave the guy there. Switch that. And then just stand there so Ayton can't roll to a wide open basket, because we're not worried about Marcus Smart taking threes. We're not worried about LeBron James taking threes. We're not worried about Austin Reeves taking threes, right? It's a different world, right? But did you say Lucas trash? Stop it. And I don't know why it seems like the Lakers don't care about rivalry anymore. Like Boston always shows up against us, but we never show up against them. It's just sad. This rivalry means nothing to them. I mean, to be fair, Lakers beat them with the last 3 years, right? But Boston's just the better team. I mean, that's what it is. Like, Boston's just unfortunately, they're just the better team. Ayton has to go. He's an energy vampire when things aren't going well. He disappears at times. You forgot he's out there. He's out there on the floor. Yeah. Also, Lakers don't like our playmakers. Again, he's averaging like 6 attempts a game, right? Like, again, hard to be a 20 and 10 center. But that is one thing that does bother me. And I've talked about it heavily in videos and live streams. He gets like discouraged at times, and it affects his energy. But I also think part of it is like if I know I'm only going to get 6 attempts, right? And I miss an attempt, I'm more frustrated than ever because I might not get another attempt. You know what I mean? So now I'm in my head more, right? Like Ayton is a very specific player. I do think Ayton has to go. And unless, again, the Lakers were to trade Austin Reeves, I just don't think the Lakers are going to trade Austin Reeves. Because, like I said, if you were to turn Austin Reeves into like a Herb Jones and Herb Jones into Trey Murphy and then go get a Tari Eason or something like that, then I think DeAndre Ayton would actually be much better. Again, like look at Phoenix. He was perfect on Phoenix, right? And people all the time will be like, oh, he's like Phoenix Ayton is gone. And it's like, how do we know that? Right? Portland wasn't anywhere close to Phoenix. This Lakers team isn't anywhere close to Phoenix. Right? Like if Lakers have a bunch of legit 3-and-D athletic wings, like real two-way players, I think you can keep Ayton. And I think Ayton would be a lot better, right? But we're expecting the 5th guy. On some nights, he's operated like he's the 7th, 8th guy to be this dominant center. And it's like, he's not. Lakers don't utilize him that way. Right? Like, we don't have the physicality and toughness on this team. You're not wrong. We don't. This team is beyond bad. They got absolutely bullied. It's rough. Tyler, Lakers won't be good playoff time. That's a falsehood. In reality, we lose in 5. It's okay. We're still supporting our team. You're awesome, but this team is mediocre, as Charles said at the deadline waste. Again, certain matchup, I do think the Lakers beat teams like Houston. I think it depends on the matchup. I don't think the Lakers win the championship, like I said. But Lakers are still good in a lot of areas. There's certain teams that the Lakers just aren't like. If they were like my concern with like a team like OKC is that they'll bring the physicality. My concern with a team like Boston, but like. If the Lakers play, say, like I said, Houston, San Antonio, and then like Denver, I don't think the Lakers beat Denver, but Denver isn't going to be as physically imposing as, a Boston or a thing. Like, they have physical guys, but they're not going to be like Boston. Like, Boston and OKC are just like incredibly physical. They're fouling every possession. They're just bringing that intensity, right? If Lakers would be able to get through Denver, and then if they played, like, in a perfect world, somebody like the Knicks, I think the Lakers could win the championship, right? Even Cleveland, just because James Harden and Donovan, like, they're not going to give you that ball pressure. They're not going to give you that physicality and that ball pressure. Lakers struggle against there's like specific teams Lakers just are not going to bode well against, right? Teams that are overly like physical and aggressive, like those are the ones that are the ones that are going to cause the Lakers issues. Lakers need to stop crying to the refs. Absolutely, 1,000%. Like, it's just, again, they're physical. Man up. Like, you're not getting the whistle tonight. Man up. Like, it happens. Guess what? Adjust. Right? Like, that's the thing. That's what's so frustrating. We getting swept by any team in the West? Again, I'm not so sure. But, again, it wouldn't surprise me. But, again, play a basketball, regular basketball, very different things. Oh. I think it's something like 2:30. Lakers have to get, Luke. I thought it said Luke. I was like, didn't he take like 26 shots? Yeah. Kennard, they need to get him more looks, more shots, 1,000%. This is what the Lakers are. They're going to get exposed by great teams every time and lose big. It's what's been happening. Let's see. I predicted a blowout on your last video. Boston was a 1.5 fave on the road with every Laker playing. I knew it was a loss. Yeah. And they did. They got ran through. This team is full of missed opportunities. Had a chance to get close to 3 seed and separate ourselves from the T-Wolves and failed. Yeah. And that's the thing that's probably most disappointing is, like, you win this. You have a bunch of like very favorable games that you can win, right? You start to create some of that separation, right? Now instead you're in this. Luckily, all those teams lost, so you're still in the same spot, but like this is a great opportunity to gain some traction. They are not a good trio. Again, they've only played 11 games. I don't know how to judge that. And it wasn't like they played like 11 consecutive games. It's like, here's 2 games and then nobody's going to play together for 15. And then here's another game and then no one's going to play together. Like, I want to give them, at least another 10 game sample size before, we start to write them off. Look, it's very possible. It's very possible the Lakers, that big 3 just doesn't work. Like, absolutely, it's real possibility. But there's also there's also the possibility that those 3 are great, right? But again, like I said, there's levels to this. There's like these 3 are great, these 3 are elite, and then there's like these 3 can carry us to a championship. Right? That's the difference. Can those 3 figure it out and get enough to where it's like, hey, they might be able to carry us? That's what I'm kind of holding on hope for, right? JJ with terrible rotations. Again, what rotation was terrible? He had to go small because he didn't have a center, because Jackson Hayes got hurt and then Ayton was in foul trouble. Outside of that, like what rotation, like what did he do rotation wise that wasn't good? Again, players play the games, right? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't think, like, again, like what, like I always see people like, oh, JJ's rotation is terrible, but no one ever talks about like what was terrible. What did he do that was terrible about the rotation? It's easy to just be like, oh, rotation's terrible. But what was it? Because from what we saw, he did the best that he could with what he had. And it's also really hard to have a good rotation when you don't have consistent production and good players, right? Well, that's all, folks. Imagine how they finna play in the playoffs in the West. Finna send them home early in the playoffs. They not ready for the playoffs, and they let a little kid give them 30. I mean, don't sleep on Peyton Pritchard, man. That guy's ridiculous. I'd love to have that guy on the team, but yeah, I mean, the Lakers did not look good at all. Like, this was not a good game by any stretch of the imagination. All right. Let's see. It's disappointing. Luke Kennard doesn't get looks. He should shoot 10 3-pointers a game. Maybe we should start him with this team at the deadline. Gave up on defense. They've embraced offense, only start him. Look, I've talked heavily about, like, I think that they should have Luke Kennard in the start. Like, I've said, if I had my way, if you're going to lean into the offense, I would go Luke Kennard, Jared Vanderbilt, probably, because you do need that. You need that scrap. You need that guy that just can cover ground. LeBron James and Deandre Ayton, I think, is the starting five I would come up with if I could. Yeah, it's probably the five that I'd go to if I could. Tyler, Vando honestly isn't that good anymore. I get that he has games where his hustle carries the team, but he clearly taken a step. Oh, he's definitely not 2020. I've said that a lot. He's not as good defensively, and he doesn't cover as much ground as he did in 2023. In 2023, he was honestly the best perimeter defender in basketball. Like, that wasn't an opinion. Like, if you look up his stats and metrics against, like, Luka, and I mean, I talked about it. I did videos about it. Like, I challenged people in chats that would be like, oh, he's not that good. I'd be like, okay, here. Like, I was pulling it up on streams and stuff. Like, I was like, give me your favorite player. And I was like, oh, look, they're shooting 20% worse on with Jared Vanderbilt as the defender than that. Like, Vando in 2023 was, I mean, otherworldly, right? I mean, we talked about it in the Warriors series, how it looked like Vando was teleporting. Like, there's a sequence where he was defending Steph Curry, and it was just like he defended like 3 players at once. Like, literally, Steph is like, he goes and cuts off the lane for Steph. Steph dribbles around, comes back around, passes the ball off. Vando's there to, like, block the shot. They dribble handoff back to Steph. He runs back over and is defending Steph, contests the shot. They get the offensive rebound. He blocks the shot. He grabs the rebound and running the other way. And I was like, what the hell just happened? Like, it was like this crazy thing. But he's not what he did. He's not that anymore. And it's probably all the injuries. He had double foot surgery, right? It's probably the foot surgeries. Probably really, it probably slowed him down. He missed a step. He's still fine. Like, I would still keep Vando long term if I could. The problem is he's making, like, 13 million next year or whatever. But I've maintained, I've said it all season. Vando is best in, ideally you want him in spots, little bursts, right? Like, hey, we're going to play you 3 minutes a quarter. You're going to get 12 minutes, and I just need you to be relentless for 12 minutes. And he can just kind of put all the energy and focus in and just do the dirty work and make the hustle plays, stuff like that. Also, Vando looks better when other guys are playing good defensively, right? Like, I really want to see, like, bad. I really want to see, like, Chris Mignon, Jared Vanderbilt, and Adu Thero out there defensively. Like, put, like, Ayton or Hayes. You can go Hayes and Luka and just, like, get, I think Jared Vanderbilt would be better. And because the other thing you got to keep in mind, and this might be also something that could be affecting Vando, he doesn't have Anthony Davis anymore, right? Like, he's definitely missed a step. Like, I want to be clear about that. But, like, when you have Anthony Davis in your back line, I can gamble a little more, right? And, like, so what I mean by that, like, you'll see Vando, he gives a little more space because he knows, like, if I get beat, it's a bucket, right? So you see him give a little more space. He's not like on guys, he's not gambling the way that he did where he was getting to spot, stuff like that. And it's hard because it's like, okay, I got Hayes or Ayton in the backcourt. So if I don't stay in front of this guy, it's a bucket, right? So now Vando has to kind of make that adjustment defensively to try to make sure that he doesn't get torched, right? And it kind of messes things up where if we had, say, a Walker Kessler in the backcourt, I think you'd see a better version of Vando because he can be more aggressive defensively. Like, does that make sense? Right? Like Vando can't be as aggressive defensively as you can on a, when you have like an Anthony Davis as like the backline type thing. So let's see. Here we go. Adu Thero and Chris Mignon should absolutely get playing time after tonight's showing. We need the energy and physicality. I am right there with you. I mean, they've been with the G League, so he couldn't play him even if he wanted to this game. But Adu Thero has the potential by himself has the potential to solve a lot. Like, I don't think he's the cure-all. Like, oh man, that's it. Now Lakers are the best team in basketball. Like, I don't mean like that, but I mean, Adu Thero's size, physicality, and athleticism could potentially be fantastic. But yeah. Healthy AD defense against Celtics is the real deal yet. Again, it's different when you have that backline defender. The level of physicality that other teams possessed when they play the Lakers are too much. Yeah, and the Lakers have struggled with that physicality. They've struggled with that ball pressure. I don't think the big three work. I'm not going to lie. Again, they might not. I just don't think we have enough sample size to know either way. I want to give them a couple games before we start writing them off. Right? Like I said, they've played. This is what their 12th game together, and it hasn't even been in succession. And we had a couple games earlier in the season when they were all playing together that all three looked brilliant. I mean, they had that one game where like LeBron was like had the fewest points and he still had 20. I think it was like 25. He had like 25. Like Reeves, I think, had 30, and Luka had like 35 or something like that. Smart off night looks like he's still a Celtic. Like I said, they got in his head. Like they really did. I'm absolutely sure Lakers can't win a playoff series at this point. I still think that they can. Like, again, I really think that they beat Houston. Again, I could be completely wrong, and maybe I am. The question is, can they win multiple? Can they win multiple playoff series? I'm sorry, my comments are written like a toddler. I predicted a loss, but I'm disappointed. It stings getting swept by Boston. Although last time they made conference finals, so did Boston. LOL. Yeah, so maybe it's a good sign. Maybe it's a good moment. But like I said, don't worry about it. Leave the comments. You do this long enough, you figure it out, right? I get people from all over the world and stuff like that. So I got to kind of like, sometimes I have to like kind of figure, okay, like I don't think they mean this, right? Like I said, you get used, you adjust, you get used to it. It's just like anything, adapt and overcome. Rob is an idiot for that. So again, for AR, Rob's not an idiot for not trading AR yet, right? Like again, you're not gonna get. I mean, Rob might not trade AR. Well, Rob might not even be our GM next season. But you can't trade AR. He's making too little. And the Lakers aren't a team that it makes sense to go and trade for a bunch of picks, right? Like the problem is you're not going to get the value necessary to justify an Austin Reeves trade. Now in the offseason where you can sign and trade him in the 40 million range, then yes, now you can, right? But like right now trading him at 14 million, I mean, there's role players that make zero. Like you're looking at a role guy that is not going to be better than Austin Reeves, even if you got a bunch of picks in the deal. It's like, again, so you're really packing in the season, right? Like, so again, Rob Pelinka not trading Austin Reeves, last season or this season is justified, right? It's just going forward is the question. All right, I'm gonna do a couple more and then I'm gonna skate on out of here. Let me see. Sorry, trying to find something. Ayton has a player option next year. Yes, which is he might end up opting into, which might be a problem. Lakers are not in NBA shape yet. Sorry, let me see. Trying to find something to me. Ayton is as soft as a newborn kitten. Yeah. Stop lying. Refs cheated. The refs did cheat. Okay. Lakers got bullied. Again, this game wasn't on the refs. Don't get me wrong. There were some rough plays. Some of those push-offs and stuff like that were frustrating, but Lakers got bullied, right? Like we don't even if Boston makes all the or the refs make all those calls, Lakers still lose this game. Play physical with the Lakers and they will lose. That's a fact now. A bunch of soft players, including whiny Luka. Yeah, it is very frustrating. Sorry, trying to find me. Tyler, I might almost be psychic. I'm 6-2 and Lakers predictions in February. I'll tell you before March what the record will be. I predicted 3-8 this month, and they are currently 5-3. Yeah, so I say it all the time. Like you can unfortunately look at the Lakers. You can look at the Lakers schedule, and just every team that's over 500, you're like the Lakers probably losing that game. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna do a handful more, and then I'm gonna skate on out of here. This is a second round exit team. Sure, have hope, but don't expect anything beyond that. Yeah, it's more likely. It's probably because chances are, at best, Lakers will end up being the 4th or 5th seed. Maybe they squeeze in the 3 seed, but they're probably looking at the 4 or 5 seed. And then I think they beat Houston. Right. Problem is Denver. You get that 4 or 5 matchup against Denver. Like the problem. I think Lakers beat Houston, and I think they beat Minnesota. So I think they beat either of those teams in the playoff series. And I was the one that was like, I do not want to see Minnesota last year, right? Like Minnesota, I thought was the worst matchup in the league for the Lakers last year. This year, I think Lakers would actually match up better. But I think, and Minnesota hasn't been as good in the areas this year as they were last year. But I think that they get out of the first round. It's really, again, now we got to play OKC or, if you end up having to play Denver or something like that, that's where I think they end up getting smacked. Let's see. The softest Lakers start I've ever seen. If they were, like I said, they just got absolutely bullied and bodied. Let's see. The Lakers got to lock in 25 games left or so, commit to each game one at a time. Now they build into it, try to make a run in the playoffs. Yeah, I mean, that's all you can do right now is work out and work on the things that you need to kind of work on the things that you need to work on in order to get to that into that playoff run. Luke Kennard is the best three-point shooter in the NBA, and JJ can't even make plays for him. JJ is so star dependent. He's so ignorant. He don't deserve to be a coach. Again, a couple things about that. One, JJ usually goes to Luke Kennard out of the ATOs, right? Like usually we're like when we get that and Kennard's on the court, does that, right? JJ can run play designs, but again, he's not the guy making plays. We've seen play designs and teams are glued to Kennard for one, which means we need to do a better job of getting him open, but it's on the ball handlers. Every game, there's a handful of times that we see Kennard wide open. There was a play in this game where Kennard went to go set the screen. They switched. Austin Reeves had the ball. There was like traffic or whatever there. And Kennard was literally wide open. because everyone was like in the middle of that traffic. And Reeves had the ball and literally just had to turn and go like this. And Kennard gets a wide open look, but he didn't even look. He just he was like over here and then went to the strong side again. And then the defender got back over and defended Kennard. Like sequences like that happen regularly. Again, people expect a coach to manage every detail of a game. That's not what a coach does. More often than not, again, watch games. Not like, don't even watch a Laker game. I want you to watch 10 games and watch how many sets and plays are actually ran in that game. Like if you really like, okay, how many of these are organized plays and how many of these are, it's usually, why do you think a lot of stars, like even Kobe talked about, it's empty basketball. Teams don't really run set after 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 set. It's not like the Lakers where we're running the triangle every play, every possession. Like you're not doing that. You're right. A lot of it is reactionary, right? Like I'm setting the ball screen, things break down, and then again, like Kobe called it. They're like you don't play purposeful basketball anymore, right? Like it's you're not running these sets and actions. And coaches, even then, right? Like, again, Phil Jackson, he wasn't running sets and actions every play. He ran one set and one action every play. So they didn't have to change anything. It just so happens that the triangle has so many different areas, right? So one can become several. But again, it's like coaches aren't calling a play every time down, right? Coaches aren't running a set every play down. It is up to Luke Kennard to get open, and it's up to the ball handlers to recognize that and get him open looks, right? Like, again, you can say all you want, hey, I need 10 shots, but if Kennard is wide open and Luka's taking a shot over a double team, like, how is that JJ's fault, right? Like, is JJ supposed to just bench Luka the entire game? Like, again, there's things to that. Again, I really encourage you, don't watch Laker game. Go watch as many games as you can this week and tell me how many sets were ran, right? Like if you're somebody that thinks like plays are ran every possession, you're going to be shocked at how few are actually ran. It's usually the same thing over. It's spamming. Teams are usually just coming up, ball handler calls for a screen. They navigate the screen. They're hoping there's a breakdown so they can break it. Like, and then the ball movement, guys are swinging the basketball. Go all in for Giannis. Like I say, I'm not against it. And, I got a super chat. Perfect way to end it. I will end it here. Perfect. If I get another super chat, then I'll answer that. But outside of that, I'm going to skate on out of here. Mikel, coming out with another $5 super chat. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. I don't care about Giannis or star hunting. Give me Brad Stevens, Presti level moves around the margins, or a move to make future moves. Please, Rob, please. Well, like I said, I don't even know if Rob will actually be the GM next season. He's going to be the president of basketball operations, but Lakers will probably bring in a new GM. It's going to be interesting to see. I don't mind Giannis, but you have to trade Austin Reeves. Like in a perfect world, you need to turn Austin Reeves into the players, like the depth, and then trade. So you trade for Giannis and then you turn Austin Reeves into the depth. My concern is that they end up landing Giannis and they keep Austin Reeves, and then they just sign a bunch of vet minimum guys. Like that's my concern. So I don't know. It really just depends. But I would prefer so the other side of that, right, is can the Lakers get enough players? I think it depends on the cap space, one, and two, how much are those other players going to cost, right? Because, like, again, if you have to pay Peyton Watson $30 million, even if you have $60 million, there's half your cap space. And now you got to solve your 5, your 3, and your 5. Problem is, Lakers need to solve their starters, right? If Lakers just needed depth, like, they had their starters locked up and they just needed depth, then I think the Lakers would be I think Lakers might be the best team in basketball next season. Problem is they don't. They're likely going to need to solve 3 starters. They're likely going to need to solve your starting 3, your starting 4, and your starting 5. And that is going to be tough to do. But we'll see. Time will tell. But anyway, I'm going to skate on out of here. Thank you all so very much. I really do appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Everyone that hung out with me, I really appreciate you. Everyone that gave me super chats, thank you so much. Seriously, it helps me out a ton. Hopefully we get the bounce back win. This was just disappointing, but I will catch you guys in the next one.